Curious about the Broncos 2024 schedule? Well, hold on to your hats because we've got the inside scoop. From showdowns with Russell Wilson's Steelers to a thrilling Monday Night Football bout with the Browns, this season's lineup is packed with must-watch matchups. But here's the kicker. Can Denver overcome the odds, especially with a late bye week and tough opponents coming off extended rests? Dive in with us as we dissect each game and make our bold predictions. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hit that subscribe button and join us for all the Broncos action.
Alright, y'all, let's dig into the Broncos 2024 schedule. So, word on the street is that the Broncos 2024 schedule done leaked online, and it looks pretty legit, so why not take a sneak peek, right? The official announcement ain't for a few hours, but who's got time to wait? Alright, strap in, cause we're about to run through all 17 games, then we'll circle back and pick 'em apart one by one. First up, Week 1's a showdown up in Seattle against them Seahawks, just like last year. Then, Week 2's Russell Wilson's revenge game, with them Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town. Week 3, we're hitting the road bound for Tampa to take on the Bucs. Week 4, it's off to Jersey to take on them Jets. Week 5 brings us back home against them Raiders, followed by a home turf tussle against them Chargers. Week 7, we're headed to New Orleans for Sean Payton's Super Bowl against his old squad on Thursday Night Football. Week 8, we're back home to take on them Panthers. Week 9, we're making a cross-country trek to Baltimore to face them Ravens, then hitting the road again to take on them Chiefs. That's a couple of tough ones back-to-back. Week 11, we're back home against Atlanta. Then, it's off to Vegas for a bout with them Raiders in Week 12. Week 13, we got our second and only primetime showdown, Monday Night Football against them Browns in Denver. Week 14, finally a breather with a late bye, unfortunately. Week 15, we're back home facing them Colts, followed by a tough stretch. Week 16, we're in LA taking on them Chargers. Week 17, it's off to Cincinnati to face Burrow and them Bengals. And to cap it all off, we're hosting Mahomes and them Chiefs in Week 18. Alright folks, let's dive into each game and really break it down. But hey, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're getting real close to 1,000 subscribers. So, let's keep that momentum going. Hit that sub button down below. You'll get your daily dose of Broncos content, breaking news, and hey, if we can rack up enough subscribers, we might even start doing live shows every week. And hey, it's all on the house. Now, let's get back to business and break down each game step by step. Alright folks, buckle up cause we're diving into the Denver Broncos 2024 schedule, and boy, do we have some juicy matchups lined up. First off, we're kicking off the season with a showdown against the Seattle Seahawks up in their neck of the woods. Now, this ain't our first rodeo with these guys, and let's be real, we're still haunted by the memories of that last encounter in 2022. But guess what? Hackett ain't in town anymore with his timeout drama. Thank the football gods for that. Then, get ready for the showdown of the century in Week 2, when we welcome Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers to our turf. Now, let's snoop around and see what the Steelers have been up to. Looks like they'll be road warriors in Atlanta the week before, so back-to-back away games for them. Tough luck facing our squad after all that travel. Week 3, we're hitting the road again, this time to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. My gut tells me they'll be hanging around that side of the country since we're headed to New York in Week 4 to battle the Jets. It's shaping up to be quite a ride for the Broncos. But let's cut to the chase, folks. The game that's got everyone hyped is that Steelers matchup. It's Russell Wilson's chance to show his former team what they're missing. And for Johan Payton, it's a golden opportunity to prove he's the real MVP of last season, not Wilson. So, who's your money on? Broncos or Steelers? I'm buzzing with excitement from a Broncos perspective. Now you might be wondering, what's the smart move for Denver? Well, in my book, it's easing Russell Wilson into the mix. Remember how he struggled in that intense matchup in Week 1 in Seattle? Yeah, we don't want a repeat of that. If they toss him in too early, those emotions could mess with his game. Maybe wait till later in the season, like Week 12 or 13 against the Broncos, for better chemistry to kick in. Yo, Broncos Nation, let's map out our ride through the 2024 season, starting with Week 5 when we got the Raiders hitting up Mile High. Then, hold on to your seats cause we're diving into some AFC West action against the Chargers in Week 6. Payton and the crew gotta amp up cause Jim Harbaugh's Raiders are no walk in the park, especially compared to Staley's crew. Now, Week 7's a real head-turner. It's Peyton's showdown with his old squad, the Saints, on Thursday Night Football. First time we're seeing our boys under them Thursday night lights, and man, it's gonna be a show. Personally, I'm crossing my fingers for Bo Nix to be calling the shots by then. Sorry, Jared and Zach, but a Nix face-off? That's sparks flying, my friends. Fast forward to week 8, Josie Jewell's making a comeback at Mile High as the Panthers come rolling in. Sure, Peyton's reunion with Nollins is the headline act, but this game? It's gonna have us all glued to the screen. Peyton back in the Big Easy, spotlight on him. Let's just hope he keeps those emotions in check. Week 9 slinging us into Baltimore to tackle the Ravens. Tough gig, no doubt. Straight from a Panther brawl at home to Baltimore, then off to face the Chiefs in Arrowhead in Week 10. Talk about a trial by fire, fasten off against two AFC heavyweights back-to-back. But hey, let's not overlook the QB puzzle. Remember the Jets last season? 4 snaps in, and it was game over. Yo, Week 11, we're back at home, facing off against the Falcons with Kirk Cousins leading the charge this time. Those Falcons might come in hot this year, especially after back-to-back road games. Then, in Week 12, it's all about that Sin City showdown against the Raiders, followed by a Monday Night Football brawl with the Browns in Week 13. Prime time, folks. But hold up, before we dive into the rest of Denver's lineup, which games got you hyped this season? Personally, I'm eyeing Russell Wilson's comeback with the Steelers in Week 2. And yo, a trip down to New Orleans for that Saints game? Always a good vibe. Let me know what matchups got you fired up. So, checking out Denver's schedule, it's gonna be a wild ride, especially with that late bye in Week 14. I mean, seriously, Week 14? Feels like the NFL's throwing some shade at Sean Payton there. We all know he's had his beef with the league, what with the whole Bountygate scandal and those sketchy calls in New Orleans. So yeah, maybe he's feeling a bit singled out with that late bye. Now, on to Week 15, they're squaring up against the Colts at home. These next games ain't gonna be no walk in the park. The Colts, just the week before, are on the road against the Jets in New York. So, Denver might have a slight edge there with the Colts dealing with back-to-back road games. Week 16, it's off to SoFi Stadium to take on the Chargers again. But this time, they've got Justin Herbert in the mix, so it's gonna be a tougher battle for sure. And then, Week 17, they're facing off against the Bengals on the road. And let's keep it real, with Joe Burrow leading the charge, it's never easy to take down the Bengals. And to wrap it all up, Week 18 brings the Kansas City Chiefs to town. Now, here's the kicker. The Chiefs are coming off an 11-day rest after their Christmas Day game against the Steelers. And Denver's not just facing them, they're also up against the fact that 3 teams they're playing this season are coming off extended rests. Talk about a rough deal. As for predicting the Broncos' record, I'm leaning towards a 9-8 season. Maybe, just maybe, they could pull off a 10-7 if everything falls into place. But realistically, I see them finishing above .500, but not by much. What's your take on it? Drop your record predictions in the comments below.